Do you like Stardew Valley? Do you like 90s style anime like Sailor Moon? Great! Me too! That's why today I'm going to be playing through my first month in Fields of Mistria. I had a great time playing this game, especially with the charming cast of characters, the aesthetic visuals, the farming, the fishing, the fighting. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Our journey starts with a conversation between Adeline and Island, the children of the Baron and Baroness of Mistria, discussing their plans to revitalize the town after a devastating earthquake. Part of their plan involves convincing a certain someone to come live and work on the old farm in town. And by a certain someone, they mean me. Like all good farming games, I am the sole driving force that gets things done. I got thrown right into the character creator, and I wanted to make the most amazing anime-looking character to match the theme of this game. But I ended up making a character that looks just like me. Thankfully, you can change everything about your character at any time from the menu in-game. Which is a good thing, because I couldn't think of a good name for my farm, and I just named it The Farm. With my character created and sent on their way, I found myself walking into town, and got stopped by a broken bridge and the suave traveling merchant Baylor. He offered to walk me to my farm, where I'm greeted by Island and Adeline, who show me around my new house. The next morning, I'm greeted by my neighbor Celine, who gives me a hoe and some seeds. It's a hoe! I love hoes! A horse? Hello? Is everyone in this town just incredibly sexy? Look at that farmer's tan. Oh my god, dude. I was then greeted by my other neighbor, Hayden, who gave me a watering can and some more seeds. I planted and watered my first crops and then headed up into the town. Adeline introduced me to the request board, where I can fulfill requests from people for money and to raise the town's renown and rank. I got my first request to meet everyone in town. This one is Holt. He runs the general store with his wife and loves puns and dad jokes. This is Nora, Holt's wife, and co-owner of the general store. Hemlock is one of the innkeepers of the Sleeping Dragon Inn, along with his wife Josephine. Raina is their daughter. She loves to cook and helps out at the inn as well. Maple and Luke are Raina's siblings, and Dell is Celine's sister. These three children are a force to be reckoned with and honestly kinda scare me a little bit. Next, I met the best brothers, March and Ulrich. March is a grumpy blacksmith who acts like he wants nothing to do with you, but I know I can worm my way into his heart. His brother Ulrich is a metaphorical golden retriever. His unending optimism and bright, cheery attitude is unmatched in town. Juniper is the owner of the bathhouse, aka a front for her magical endeavors. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the best character I've seen yet. His collar says Dazzy. Nice to meet you, Dazzy. Or is it Dozy? I don't know. Oh, he's so cute. And Juniper's dog, Dazzy. Or Dozy. I don't know how his name is supposed to be pronounced, but I love him very much. This one is Valen. She's the doctor of the town. Is this a real skeleton? Okay. Okay. I was wondering. She's also got a suspicious trapdoor to her basement. What do you got in your basement, Valen? What do you got in the basement? Keeping an eye on you. Terithia is the fisherwoman of the town, and also an ex-soldier. Elsie is Adeline and Island's aunt, and retired socialite. Landon is a semi-retired carpenter who works with his nephew Reese. Hello? Hello? And finally, this is Errol. He is a member of the Historical Society and a curator of the Mistria Museum. After meeting everyone in town, I turned in the quest to Adeline and received potato seeds. I planted my potatoes and then went to sleep. That is so cute! What are you doing? You were just here, cutting down a tree. It's awful early for this kind of thing. Oh. The next morning, I am awoken by Island attempting to chop down a tree on my property. I help him out and we uncover the broken statue of Calderis. I superglued the dragon head back onto his body, and then Island left me with his axe. Then, while exploring the areas around Mistria, I found myself inside of Hayden's house and introduced myself to Henrietta. What is that? What is that? Henrietta? This chicken clucks at you with a regal air. You're sure this must be Henrietta, Hayden's prize-winning chicken. Henrietta pecks at the ground indifferently at your blatant attempt to get on her good side. Henrietta! Later at the museum, Errol asked me to bring him bugs, fish, artifacts, and plants to put on display, in exchange for rewards and renown. As a completionist when it comes to playing games, I just know I'm going to spend way too much time trying to finish this museum collection. I picked up a request from Ulrich to bring him a rock, and away I went to bring my favorite golden retriever his rock. I complimented him on his muscles, and he gave me a pickaxe so that I could tone my muscles as well. March joined us briefly, but was upset by my presence. Ulrich asked us to give March a chance and be his friend, despite March not being that great with people. Don't worry, Ulrich, you don't need to convince me to like him. I already love him. That night, I was visited in a dream by the dragon statue that I put back together. His name is Calderis, and he seems to have some memory issues due to his long slumber, probably. Well, it's probably because I've glued your head on with a... Wait, you can date him? Hold on. You can date the dragon statue? Well, I know who I'm romancing now. Calderis goes on to tell me how I can collect magic essences around Mistria and bring it to him to regain his strength. And in exchange, he will empower me with skill perks to make my life easier. After that, I met up with Adeline, Reese, Baylor, and Nora in the forest to talk about a plan for repairing the bridge. All I need to get is 60 stone and 60 wood. That's easy. The next day, I met with Luke and Hemlock in the inn and was given a net. Now I can catch all the bugs that I've been seeing around Mistria and take them to the museum. Then I bought a birthday gift for Reese. Hi, it's your birthday! Birthday boy! Yeah, I knew it was your birthday. It's on the calendar in my house. Oh, he's blushing. By Friday, I still had made no progress on the super easy task of fixing the bridge, but I did get a letter from Raina inviting me to Friday nights at the inn, which I am so excited to check out. A little wood chopping later, and I did get the 60 wood for the bridge, so now all I need is 60 stone. A bug! A praying mantis, wow. Okay. Hello, it's you! Yes! 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 Progress! I'm slowly getting March to warm up to me. After a day of foraging around Mistria, it was finally time to head to the inn. Everyone in town was there, and they all looked like they were having such a great time. Nora, Reese, Errol, Elsie, Ulrich, and Hayden were playing a game of cards and betting money. At the bar, Elsie and Landon were enjoying a drink, while March turned out to be a friendly drunk. Looks like he likes me after all. Juniper offers to share her wine with Valen, and I swear, I think this is them flirting with each other. Raina gave me a free drink for showing up, and I sat in on Island's first session of Dragons and Drama. We've got Celine's druid Daffodilia, Adeline's wizard Moonsilver, Baylor's thief Snicklefritz, and Holt's bard Bad Brad the Bearded Bard. I look forward to seeing how this pans out every week. Not gonna lie, I kinda wish I could play Dragons and Drama with them. Eventually, I noticed the children on the second floor and listened to their plan to break into Baylor's room at the inn. These children are future crime lords for sure. The next morning, I ran into Island and Errol at the museum, discussing the possibility of reopening the mines. Errol suspiciously insists that it's not a good idea, however. What? I think Errol knows more than he's letting on, though. At the town shop, I dropped all my money on a shovel and a cherry sapling. That was probably a smart investment, I'm sure. Then I finally got the 60 stone needed to finish repairs on the bridge. This will allow traveling merchants to visit Mistria every Saturday for the Saturday market. Too bad it was already Saturday when I finally got the stone. Ah well, next Saturday I'll get to meet all the new people. By day 7, I had started to concoct some theories on what was actually going on in Mistria. Okay, the earthquake, you all say. I don't think it was an earthquake. I think it was monsters. I feel like the dragon defeated some kind of monster. I'm just making it up out of my head. Like, I've concocted an entire like story here, but I think some monster came out of the mines, out of the depths, and attacked the town. And then the dragon, whose statue is on my farm, defeated the monster, but lost all of his powers, and so then he had to go back into statue form, and he forgot what happened. Later that day, I brought Juniper a lilac for her health tonic. She decided to try it on me with some less than ideal effects. To fix her oopsie, Juniper bathed me in some refreshing dragon saliva, and then told me my next 5 visits to the bathhouse were free. How kind. And that night, I finally got the town to stone rank. And you know what that means. I met up with Errol and Island at the mine's entrance. Errol again tries to convince us to not go into the mines. Kinda sus. We convinced him to open it up though, and he punches the doorway open. Once inside, there's a ladder going down and an elevator that will let me fast travel up and down every 5 levels. And also another broken dragon statue similar to Calderis on my farm. I wonder if this one is alive too, or maybe it's just a statue? Sadly, I don't see any of the statue's missing parts laying around, but despite that, I'm still able to use my magic essences to empower some skills in mining and fighting. Instead of exploring the mines like I should have, and what would have made sense logically, I instead went around doing my chores around Mistria. I met with Adeline and she asked me to help resupply the emergency rations for the town. How many emergency rations does a town like Mistria need? Well, apparently just 10 potatoes. What is that, like half a potato per person? The 10th of spring was Ulrich's birthday. He put out another request for a single rock. My guy, what are you doing with these rocks? So I obliged and brought him a rock. As a reward, he gave me a chair he found in the mines. Looks more like a wooden crate, but okay. Then I gave him some copper ore for his birthday. I just like making him happy. Reese was also nearby, and I brought him 10 wood that he requested, and he showed me how to craft some fences and other cool stuff for the farm. The next rainy morning, I stopped by the beach and finally bought the fishing rod. The rest of the day was spent doing a lot of fishing. Just look at these guys. Look at their faces. Look at their floppy little mouths. I've never wanted to be a fish as much as I want to be this guy right here, right now. But like all things, his time must come to an end. And I left him to face his maker in the shipping bin and made some nice money off of him and his friends. So why do I write these things? What's wrong with me? It's Friday again, and you know what that means. That's right, it's Friday nights at the inn. But before we get to that, I purchased the bag upgrade for 1,000 tesserae. This gave me some much needed bag space so that I could stop having to run back to the farm after picking up only 4 items. This is going to come in handy for long trips to the mines later. It was now time to visit all my new friends at the inn and see how their story continues. Valen had bought Juniper a very expensive bottle of wine as a thank you gift for last week, and yes, they are totally flirting. The 3 mini crime lords have got their heist fully planned out, involving some cheesy potatoes, some warm beer, and apparently now I have to steal Baylor's key to his room. At this point, I think it would be easier for me to just befriend him and get into his room the good old-fashioned way. Speaking of Baylor, now that he's here, I can see the next chapter of their D&D adventure. These mad lads just killed a king and stole his crown. I can't say I was expecting that. Day 13 was the Saturday market, and also my in-game birthday. Sadly, no one sent me any birthday mail, and not a single person mentioned that it was my birthday. But that's okay, because now I get to meet all the new people at the market. This is Vera. She's a hairstylist and sells some new hairs and hair accessories for my player character. This is Darcy. She runs the traveling cafe. She sells some sweet treats as well as a few cooking recipes. Lewis is a tailor and sells some cool hats and accessories. And this is Mary. She sells antiques and furniture that she restores herself. I didn't have much money to buy stuff at the market this week, but settled on buying some cat ears. The next morning, Celine stopped by to tell me about the upcoming spring festival. There will be flowers and special booths selling spring-themed items, and apparently March will be juggling? That genuinely surprised me. I didn't know he had such a jovial hobby for being such a serious man. I'm kind of excited to see him perform. Celine asked me to collect some Breath of Spring flowers. I can collect these around Mistria by doing the same kinds of activities that reward magic essences. Time to see how many I can collect! I spent most of my time collecting them in the mines, as it seemed pretty fast to get them to drop, and then I could progress further down the mines. Which was going pretty well until I got to level 10, and heard a whisper coming from the depths. Look, I've played enough World of Warcraft to know where this is going, and it's not good. That night, Calderas says that I had restored enough of his power for him to grant me the full restore spell. Now I can use this spell to fully heal my health and my stamina. Before I knew it, it was already March's birthday. I could never miss a chance to shower him in gifts and affection, so I watered my plants, talked to my dragon statue, and then made my way over to March. I got him a nice hot cup of coffee. He loved it, a man after my own heart. I caught up with Island at the inn, and he told me that the mines had historically been used for cultural and religious activities. That kinda sounds like some old god shenanigans to me. Not to mention, Errol is very concerned about the voice. In fact, he seems to be the only one concerned. It was now the day of the spring festival. I wonder how well I did collecting the flowers. Well, second place is not that bad. Of course Celine would do better than me. Growing flowers is her whole thing. She could easily just grow the flowers for the competition. And now for the moment I've been waiting for. Oh, I genuinely thought he was going to juggle for the festival. I didn't expect this outcome at all. I was really looking forward to seeing him juggle. The rest of the festival was pretty cute. Elsie had a stand selling some accessories. I bought the flower crown, of course. Afterwards, I bought the blueprint for a coop. I headed back to my farm and cleared some land and built my chicken coop. I didn't have enough money for some chickens yet, but hopefully soon I can get them. On the 18th of spring, Adeline, Hayden, and Reese asked me to get the materials to fix the old mill. Because I guess nobody else wants to? I guess that's alright, seeing as I'm on a mission to get some animals and the mill will help me make some animal feed. But that would have to wait, as I found running around and foraging for items around Mistria a lot more appealing, apparently. I made my way over to the big rock in the southeast of the map and broke it. Here, there was a lot of blueberry bushes and a mysterious well that I threw 100 tesserae into. It threw a salad at me. Okay. I wonder what 500 tesserae would have gotten me. Then I found this pond skater that took me way too long to catch. Like, way too long. And the museum didn't even want it. And it's only worth 15 tesserae, so I put him where he belonged. Continuing my foraging this day, I made my way north and broke the boulder up there. I found a fountain of clear water and immediately drank from it. I can't say I recommend drinking from unknown cauldrons of water you find in the woods, but this one happened to restore some of my energy. There was also a staircase covered in vines that I'm assuming must be for later in the game or maybe a future update. And speaking of updates, now it's time for an update on my favorite Friday nights at the inn. This week, Juniper gave Valen a taste of her 800-year-old witch vine Merlot. Now, are you blushing because of the wine or because your girlfriend gave you an expensive and rare gift? And there goes the wine. As for our D&D game, well, they are now going to court for their crimes. Celine rolled a 1 on summoning a tree attorney, and it's just a normal tree. Not a talking tree, no. A normal tree. But at least it's pretty. On my way back to the farm, my big brain had a great idea. I could just buy a chicken egg from Baylor's wagon and then incubate it in my chicken coop. I said, incubate it. Just incubate. Oh, come on. At the Saturday market, I learned some vital March lore. His hair is dyed. My boy dyes his hair. I will store this information next to March secretly has a juggling skill and March secretly likes me, but only admits to it when he's drunk. And what a treat Ulrich is to let me into March's secret inner world. Then I bought some new hair to spice things up a bit. It's not what it looks like, Celine. And to go with my new hair, I got a new hat. A little tangerine pal to sit on my head. The next morning, Calderis reminded me that I've been neglecting the old god-infested mines, and that I should go deeper. Yeah, probably, but first... chickens! I bought 2 spotted chickens and named them Cricket and Coconut. Look at them waddle out of their house. It's giving... bouncing seal. It was finally time to struggle through the mines. After spending an entire day down there, I finally made it to the 20th floor. A whisper asked me to break the seal on the door. I don't know, man. I feel like it's sealed for a reason. So I take a rubbing of the ancient text and bring it to Island. He's thrilled. Okay, don't get too excited there. Turns out the language was witch speak, and Island can't actually help us, so we went to our local witch Juniper. She translated the language no problem, and without any input from Island. Well, looks like I'm doing a fetch quest for a door now, but that's okay. I kinda wanna see this old god face to face, and with only 5 more days left in spring, I'm determined to see this through. In the morning, I got scolded by a baby chicken, and I realized I was so locked in with this old god business that I neglected to put my chickens back inside to sleep. Calderis commented on the seal in the mines. He practically commanded me to break the seal so that he can regain his magical powers. Look, as much as I want to bone the Dragon Bachelor, this is all getting real sketchy. Everyone that knows anything about these mines is acting suspicious about it. And here's little old clueless protagonist me to unleash ancient horrors into the world of Mistria. On the 25th of spring, my little chicks became full-grown chickens. They were beautiful. I've taken a peek at the breeding charts for animals and how to get rarer colors. I would love to mess around with that and get some cool colors of chickens and cows later on in the game. I continued my journey in the mines, and I found a ruby, lantern moth, and a stone loach. I brought them down to the sealed door and presented my offering. Only one more thing to collect before I can break the seal. The next morning, I finally brought all the things I needed to repair the old mill. It only took me 8 days. Now I can make all kinds of processed goodies like flour, higher quality animal feeds, and animal products like butter and cheese. Neat! On my way through the mines today, I found the last key to unlocking the seal, a mushroom. Hold on. This right here? That is definitely an old god. This is exactly what I've been saying. And now she wants me to go deeper into the earth? Well, I've made it this far. I might as well give myself completely to the old gods. She also left me a heart crystal to increase my health, which is much appreciated. And so I went deeper into the Tide Caverns. This new level of the mine seems really cool. I spent a little bit of time mining down here before I headed home. When I got back to my farm, Calderis wanted to speak with me. I got the summon rain spell from Calderis, and he told me that I must unlock 4 more seals before he can get his powers back. Well, I'm already on Calderis' crazy train ride. I guess we'll see where it goes. It was at this point that I realized it was Friday nights at the inn again, and I never went to the inn. It's 12 a.m. I made a mad dash for it because I didn't want to miss any of the story. The D&D campaign came to a head with Baylor, probably cheating to save the day. And as for the children, well, they're grounded now. Their plan failed. But hey, it's the spirit that counts, right? Honestly, I'm just surprised that everyone stayed in the inn so late. It's It's now the last day of spring. I spent the first half of my day wandering around town talking to everyone, including March, who was still not content with my existence. Then I brought a stick to Dozy. He was so happy and so stinking cute. I love Dozy. The second half of my day was spent progressing through the mines, but eventually this day came to an end. And with that, spring in Fields of Mistria was over. I look forward to playing more of this game. I can't wait to see the other seasons and all of the other in-game holidays. I know the game is still in early access and marriage and romance are not yet in the game, but I am so looking forward to when that gets added. Let me know who you would want to romance. I'm on the fence about who I'd want to marry, but knowing me, I'm probably going to end up with March. Though, he gives me Shane vibes, so hopefully I won't regret it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have an awesome day.